Hey, you guys, this your girl D Love from the South Side. Inglewood for life, Chicago, that is. I am back, and I know I've been gone because life done happened. So I'm here, okay? Don't judge me. So I'm here today because I want to talk about the Chicago latest masterpiece. Yeah, I said it, the Chicagoland's latest masterpiece, Chicago Woke Johnson. It's kind of quiet. You hear some things about what's going on in Chicago, but then again, you don't hear anything. So I want to talk about with you what I heard in the news recently. And you know what they said? They said that Chicago is in a $1 billion deficit. Now, if I'm not mistaken, remember they just talked about, I wonder, I think it was back in February, they talked about the any shot spotters. And I'm gonna do more research on that shot spotters because they said the contract is ended, and it's definitely right after the Democratic convention. Democratic convention. So you telling me you had the Democratic convention? What money did they pay towards the Democratic convention? Where's that money at, Mr. Johnson or Mayor Johnson? I'm waiting. As you can see, my background is Michigan Avenue. It was on a snowy day I took standing there. Um, like where's the money? That's the confusing part is when we think about it is the taxes. You get money for Chicago money for taxes. They get money for them red light cameras. They get money for them the license no the stickers in the window. You gotta have those. They about $100 and some. What else do the Chicago get money? They got the gasoline tax. They have the gas tax. They get money from that. Um, what else? Gas tax. So we got the gas tax. The We need a whiteboard. Let's see if we can find some whiteboard. Um, oh man, I need it. Next time I can figure out how to put a whiteboard up here. So we got the gasoline tax. So when you gas, that's why Chicago gas is high because I think right now it's like $3.99. Now that's in Chicago, but if you go to the suburbs, uh, or like I know for the south suburb, there's one. The QT is $3.19. So that's clearly 80 cents more per gallon. Like I would never buy gas in the city. Now, if you go to Indiana, which is across the border, maybe about 5 minutes across the border from where I'm at. No, I say about 15 minutes from me. Well, it's 12 to 15 minutes from where I live in the south suburbs, Thornton Township, right? But anyway, um, so where's the money? So you got the gasoline tax, you got the food tax because you know you have to pay tax on that. So I hate going. If I buy something in the city, I try not to. I don't care if I go to Ross, Walgreens, Target. I'm not going to the city to buy anything. I'm not doing it. So we got the gas, the water, and then people have to pay taxes on the water bill, your gas bill. I think there's taxes on the light bill. Um, Again, the red light cameras bring in a lot of money. Where is that money? And you know where the money went to? The money went to the immigrants. And if you saw my video that I done a couple of months back, it should be on my page. I said when they said they was in the shot spotters, I said they must have spent all their money on the immigrants, and now they ain't got no money. So the one thing that costs a lot couple of $1 million. It's the shot spotters. So if they let go, release that contract to shot spotters, okay, that free up money. Because if you like any of us who had like, if you got to pay your bill and you short on your bill, you got to figure out, okay, who am I going to cut to pay my bills? And the first thing it goes is, it's like you having a car and you stop paying your car insurance because you can't afford your car insurance. Like, that's how the shot spotter is. Like, how do we cancel the shot spotters for safety? That's what I would like to know. Like, who comes up with these grand ideas? Because I'm sure he didn't come up with this on his own. Somebody, a team, had to help him with that information. Because, yeah, somebody right here, something about the story that we hear now is not right. We're still missing more to this story. It was saying, according to Illinois policy, it said the Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson stares down a $1 billion city budget deficit. Now they said the update forecast any 982 million shortfall for 2028. Um, and it says that it comes with 223 million remain for this year. So you telling me you put the people in debt because you want to help a community of people? So you want to help a community of people, and the people who live here has to pay for it. That's interesting. That means, and this goes back to, you say what you want to say, like the South Suburban Mayor Tiffany Henyard. There's important management, financial management, and down City Hall in Chicago, they got some big people making some good money. So why is there? How can it be a shortfall? Where was the alert to say, "Hey, we in trouble"? And what is going to affect next? Like, what part of that $223 million is, what is that for? For, like, is it for paying? What, paying who? You know what I'm saying? Why? What is short? What we not gonna make next year? This year? Because to be honest, the immigrants. Let's see, and let me tell you my theory about this whole thing about the immigrants coming to, they dropping them here. I got stuff in my nails. That, so they let the immigrants in. No shade to the immigrants, but politics is politics. And that they let them in, and then they become citizens, right? So one of the smart things Mayor Johnson said, you know what? Within the next 4 years, these same people will become voters. And if they're voters, they're going to vote for me because I allowed them to come here and get their citizenship. So they were. See, the one thing people don't talk about is African Americans, they don't vote in number record as they used to, as our forefathers or grandfathers or grandmothers did. But the Hispanic people, they get together. They're gonna get together, and they gonna they gonna get. It's about to be a change. Mark my word. September 2nd, 2024. It's about to be a change. Chicago ain't gonna be black no more. Not that it ever was, because it was never totally black. We just had the south suburbs and south side, and the whites had was in the north suburbs, and so it's only north, south, and west suburbs. And what I find is because I remember we used to have a landlord. Her name is Justine, and she owns many properties in Inglewood. And I had went back, saw her maybe about 5 years ago, maybe about 5 years ago, and she said, "Girl, you need to come back to Inglewood because the Hispanics are taking over." And I was like, "Good," because I ain't coming back to Inglewood. So there's a lot of people, but I do know people who got good jobs and still live in Inglewood. But there's a lot of Hispanics there now. Um, who was I talking to? And they said they have a friend who was a principal, and he has a building in Inglewood. He's a Chicagoland principal, and then that is interesting because he making six figures, but he's grew up in Inglewood. Oh my God! Somebody I went to school with told me that. And I can't. It's somebody I went to Inglewood with who told me such and such is a principal at a school, and he still live in Inglewood. I remember I would say I don't know. I used to call. I don't know what to call him. Well, this one guy. I won't say his name, but he still live in Inglewood. He was like my first true second experience in life. And he still lives in Inglewood. I used to go to his house a couple years ago, and I'm like, it ain't the same. The block ain't the same. The block ain't the same. And it's not. It's a lot of when I go to Inglewood once a year, maybe when my sister comes to town. I said, "Oh, let's go do a drive by through Inglewood." We lived on 65th and May, 65th and Aberdeen, 67th and Marquette, 69th and Peoria. Those are three places we lived in Inglewood. So I'm sure Inglewood until I got 20. I got married at 21, and I would just come back every now and then until my mother moved from Inglewood in 2003, 2003. And yeah, it's a lot of them homes are gone. There's a lot of Hispanics moved up in there. I was going to the airport one day, and we went down 55th Street. Basically, I don't see blacks hanging out on 55th and Halsted like I used to. But walking down that 55th, driving down 55th and Garfield, yeah, you see a lot of Hispanics walking, going. They got a lot of schools where I at least saw two on my way to the airport. Hispanic um, schools. Must be two or three I seen. And but in this neighborhood, with the school that I went to, it's closed down. It's closed down. I believe it's closed down. You let me say this. I don't go in that neighborhood that often. No shade to my Inglewood friends, but I haven't gone in there. I don't go there. I have no reason to go there. I have no attachment. And I believe a lot of people, besides, there's a couple of people who grew up there, still live there, or own property there, but I just choose not to because it's a different scene. It's your grandkids that who are running them streets out there now, and I don't really got time for all that extra. I don't. So back on track. When I talked about Inglewood, and I was just saying how the Hispanics are coming and taking over, and how moving in, rightfully so. And even where I live now, it's changed. Uh, there's more Hispanics on the block now than it was when I first moved over here. It was blacks, a lot of blacks, but because they're letting so many in, and again, the immigrants are not just totally Hispanics, as we know. as we know now. So, because Mayor Johnson has brought these people over, and are they still getting some kind of check, and they get financial help? Because I don't understand. Oh, I heard something about they gonna healthcare. We can't get healthcare like that. You got to prove why you don't have healthcare before the city help you. And that's the part that I don't like. Like if the immigrants come over, they gotta get it how they get it. But the everyday taxpayer should be able to benefit from it because it's a struggle out here trying to make money. It's a struggle. So they come in and and now right now we're in a $223 million deficit. And I hope this does not affect the police department with their overtime, the firemen. Um, it just seems like because I grew up Democrat. I always just vote Democrat, but not always. I ain't gonna tell you which time I didn't do it. And they're so liberal. They're so giving. And I know the Lord says you got to help. But we can't even help ourselves. How we go? And I know building more police station, jails. That's not the problem. That ain't gonna solve the problem. But he taking money to solve other people' problem and not help solve the problem that's in the communities now. So you can't really feel sorry for him because a lot of the public schools have closed down. There's a lot. Now I know of at least two that I've seen in Inglewood. I know Low Upper Grade Center. That's where I went to grammar school, middle school. That's closed. And there's another one I saw that's closed. So if you closing these schools, I mean, where is the money going? And see, that's the problem. You can't tell the people we got a deficit, and then you not explain where did the money go. And I noticed that even with watching the south suburbs and with the mayor and the Thornton Township supervisor, there's really no breakdown on how that money was spent. And that's how I notice with the Democrats. They want you to say, okay, yes, we gonna do it. We gonna take it. It's okay. Why you ain't explaining to us where this money went going to, how much we spent on this? It's like when you and they probably people don't do that no more. Balance your checkbook. So then you know, okay, this is what I spend money on. This is what I spend money on. Okay. Now by the first quarter, I'm gonna know if where I'm gonna be at. And then I need to adjust on the first quarter. So when the second quarter comes, you be like, we need to do some things in that second quarter. So when that's third and fourth quarter, you can balance it out. Shred what you need to shed. Not wait to the third quarter to say, hey, we're in a deficit. So that's like what you did between that first and second quarter has caused an issue in the third quarter. So who's going to foot the bill? The citizens of Chicago and the tourism. They're gonna try to tax tourism. They sure didn't try to put annual extra taxes when the Democratic convention came in. And a question: when the Democratic convention happened, did they give Chicago money, and what did you do with it? Where's the money from that? Um, yeah, and so that's the thing that bothers me the most is, especially like big cities like Chicago. You always claiming that you're broke, but they got about 50 streams of income coming in, from tickets to red light cameras to soda tax. They still had the pop tax, and they did away with the. I thought they did away with the. Maybe they did away with the soda tax, but they still had the the bag. If you go to the store and you need a bag, they're gonna charge you for it. What else? Yeah, I should have wrote it down. So that's where we at. So Mayor Johnson, how are we gonna fix this problem? If, like I was told when I worked in advertising, and the supervisor, you tell her something, and she'll be the manager. She'll be like, "Well, if you come with a problem, you gotta come with a solution." So Mayor Johnson, what is the solution? The people want to know. Because it's the craziest thing ever. Today I saw 4 people shot on the train, on the Blue Line CTA train. And one thing I heard see about CTA, they said is they got very good cameras. So if you notice, if you're from Chicago, there's so many cars out there, so many cars. That's because a lot of people do not want to take public transportation because it is not safe. I I've been taking a train maybe 8 years, 7 years, maybe 5 years, because it's a metro. And I won't get on metro at a certain time either. So what are we going to do? So that means you can't even hire more police officers. We got Chicago kind of stuck. Like, so what they gonna do is, who they gonna cut? Like, you know what I'm saying? They gonna lay people off. That's the weird part. How they gonna lay people off? And because it's really like a skeleton crew now when you go to City Hall. I don't know if you know, City Hall and the county building are in the same building downtown. It's just on separate sides. It's just interesting. You know, when you think about it, like, who y'all gonna lay off? Because who you gonna lay off? And I'm like, and what about them people who live in River North or River West? And what about them companies that live downtown? And I say them because those people, they pay money. It ain't cheap. It's not cheap. So what are they gonna do? How many companies are going to flee Chicago? That's the question. Because I thought the lottery funds the teachers. And you know, people be playing that lottery. I don't play lottery. I go to the boat before I go play the lottery to get a lottery ticket. And they don't even talk about that casino downtown. Because remember, they're supposed to build is at the Shriner, the Medina Temple right now. Now, I went there to it. It's small. I mean, I just stayed on. I didn't. I'm sure they had another floor. I didn't go to the next floor. I stayed downstairs. Um, y'all ain't making money for that either. So he really needs to go back before he come talking to the people about I need more money. You need to figure out where did you go wrong at? Where did we under budget, over budget, and how did we get to where we at before you ask the citizen of Chicago for more money? Because taxes, only taxes, is crazy. Now we live in a south suburb. We pay about 6,500 a year, 6,500. And I don't even live in one of the best suburbs. I got a neighbor on each side. I wish they just, it is what it is. So, and that's my question is when I figured it out, I was like, well, on every block, if they taxes about, let's say, uh, we pay, I think I saw like 1,500 of that. I gotta go back and look at it. I want to say it was 1,500 go towards the county, or it's about 1,500. 1,500. Oh, it's 1,500 every 6 months. No. That's not right. Yeah, 1,500 out of the 6,000. 15. So 3,000 goes to my local municipality, and the other three get broken down with state, federal, because the school is under the 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 town. So the town that I live in. I was like, well, yeah. So again, there's some there are some changes that need to be done. There's some audits that need to be had, and there's some oversight that needs to go on to get back to what it was before he took office. Because there's no reason why ShotSpotter got rid of ShotSpotter. And what does this deficit also affect? Like, where did it come from? Well, we all know it came from last summer, the migrants. And truth be told, they started talking about are they still busting them here. I don't hear nothing about the migrant. Every year it's either COVID, before that was a migrant, then it was every year there's something. You ever notice that? Sorry, my fan is on. It's causing me my eyes to water. So what? Like like Cat Williams said, 2024 gonna tell it all. And he ain't never lied. Well, I ain't gonna hold you. But I just wish Mayor Johnson just do something and make Chicago great again, right? Well, this your girl D Love from the South Side, Inglewood for life, Chicago that is. And I hope that I see you soon. And if nothing else, make sure everyone in your household vote. Local election is the most important election. State, the president also, but that's another story for another time. What they pushing that agenda. So just make sure everybody votes. Stay woke because another something is coming in 2025. Well, it's your girl. I'm out. Until we meet again, you have a great one and enjoy the rest of your day.